Right. All right, thank you. Have a good night. Oh, here the New York Fire Department as I step off the bus, like, whoop, whoop. You guys heard that? Hopefully you heard that. Oh yeah, the illegal tracking, of course. You know, hacking into my phone. What was I saying? I guess, you know, they do that to try to test my memory, right? In terms of what I was talking about. Okay, I was talking about Jordan Maxwell and David Icke. You know, when they talk about the technology being developed and the secret societies, the Illuminatis, Freemasons, or what have you. You know, and I usually don't focus on these secret societies, even though they are part of it. You know, the Met, actually in England, the Met Police Department, there is a new rule or new policy in which police officers have to disclose whether they are members of the Masons, right? If they, or have they ever been associated with the secret society well, I wouldn't even say secret society, because the Masons, they're not really secret societies. The Illuminati is a secret society. But the Masons do engage in secret covert, I should say, things, right? Covert manipulation, stuff like that. And, you know, particularly David Icke was talking about, you know, I can't really, when it comes to the whole reptilian thing, I think it's kind of silly. You know, I mean, I think, you know, you remember, you study biology. It talks about human evolution, right? So remember that we all living things started out from a single cell amoeba. And then that single cell began to multiply. And through millions of years, billions of years, right? Every time a piece of that amoeba branch off or multiply, the piece multiplies like a cell reproducing, right? And from that you have different animals and such. And we all started out in the water, amphibious, and then we went on to land. Okay, some stayed in the water, so you have the fishes, the sharks, the whales, and so forth. Some went on land, crawling on four legs, right? You talk about the lizards, right? You look at the birds, right? Look at you as human beings. You can see some people that actually look like you know, like a lizard, like a gecko, right? You can see it in their shape. You can see some people that resemble dogs. You see some people resemble horses. You know what I'm saying? You can see you know, all animals, well, except for, you know, rodents and stuff like that. But you can, yeah, even rats. Right? You see some people that you say, man, he got a face like a rat. You know what I'm saying? So human evolution is all around us. We can see it, right? We can see it. So this so-called reptilian thing is just, you know, I think it's silly to me. I think, you know, we know that we are born in water. We are created in water, right? We live in water for 9 months, okay, before our mothers give birth. All right. But there's other stuff I was talking about too. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember because you know, like I said, they always try to test my memory when they do stuff like that. Hack into my phone so that, you know, what I was saying, something important, and plus all the, you know, you can hear the sirens too. You can still hear the sirens now, right? But this is all day, right? And I also was talking about how, you know, they were black Europeans, right? You know, the Moors ruled Spain for 700 years, right? Where did all the black people go? And you know, for 700 years, there's a lot of mixing going on in there. That's why I say Italy, the Sicilian, they call them, you know, the N-word, right? If you're Sicilian, they'll say, well, you know, your father came from a black man or what have you, right? But I want you to understand how Europe has breed out the darker European population, right? Look at Germany, right? Germany's first quilt. You look on that quilt, you will see Moorish, what they call a Moorish king and queen in a castle with Moorish guards, That's in the Boston Museum. Right? That is in the Boston Museum. So how is it that they're trying to lie to us when the shit is right in front of our faces? Because we are conditioned not to look, not to see. Right? We are blinded by the psychological condition that they've given us, which prevents us from seeing our true reality and seeing the truth. Right? Again, look at it in Russia. Right? Everywhere you go, Europeans know that Africans is the first one to settle the globe, the world. Every civilization started as a black civilization. And through human adaptation, right? Not human evolution, human adaptation is the reason why we have people we call Europeans, the reason why we have people we call Asians and so forth. But if you look at the Sans people, one of the oldest people on this planet, older than the Chinese, the Koreans, the Japanese, right? And you look at them and you say, oh, they look Chinese, or they look no, the Japanese and the Chinese, the Korean look like them, look like the Africans, right? You go to the South Asia Pacific, you see black people, blacker than me, blonde hair, blue eyes. Africa, blue eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes, black as night. So these are our traits. This is not a European traits. These are our African traits. You need to understand that. And I was talking about Oliver Cromwell and what they did in the great expulsion and the great murder of millions of black Europeans at the hands of Oliver Cromwell. Right? And Europe start to get rid of all the black Europeans. Right? The mass expulsion of I should say black Europeans, the mass murder of black Europeans to steal their wealth, to steal their what's she doing? Yeah, look, she's looking back. To steal their wealth, to steal their inheritance, to steal their land, to steal their royal name and take it as their own. You don't think that they don't know who those bloodlines are if Eddie survived? Come on now. Yeah, you gotta understand, Ada Cyrus. All right, you're hearing more than one Cyrus, right? Right, because you're hearing a low vibration, a low volume, I should say a low frequency sirens, as well as the high frequency sirens. All right, you need to look at that. I was talking about Benjamin Franklin, not Benjamin Franklin. I'm sorry, Thomas Jefferson in his paper called "The Nation of Races," and he talks about the Germans, the Russians, the Swedes being Swati, meaning black in complexion. Where did these people go? No, we said if you look at Swedish people and they're whiter than everybody else, right? But Thomas Jefferson, when he was alive in his era, he talks about the Swedes being Swati, the Germans being Swati, the Russians being Swati, meaning black in complexion, right? Joan of Arc, they'll talk about Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was a black woman, and I can prove it because I have the documentation that shows, that talks about it. When they talk about Joan of Arc, they describe her as tall, African, black. And the Europeans, they whitewash every damn thing. Because that's what they do. Their history is built on lies. Their civilization is built on what? On the theft of African people, the enslavement of African people, the exploitation of African people, the rape and murder and brutal assault of African people. All right, you shut up now, okay? Go and read some of these old books that talk about the ancient Europeans, and they all will say one thing, that they were black Africans first. They were called the pygmies, the Twa people. Okay? Yes, Cyrus? Okay. Yeah, the Twa people. Man, let me tell you, when I get some time that I can just relax and just go through my files, I'm going to do a video and I'm going to show you guys. And there's a brother on YouTube that does a lot of this research too. I forgot his name. It starts with a K, Kilomanu, something like that. But this brother, again, another one of these brothers that do a lot of research, and like I said, you know, black people are beginning to wake up. We just need to wake up the nigger. Okay, yeah, we need to wake up the nigger. There is serious need of some awakening, of some consciousness, and some conscious awareness. Oh, I saw flashing lights. You know they gotta come with the flashing lights, right? Right? Look, you know they gotta come with the flashing lights. Look at them. You know they gotta come with the flashing lights, man. Anyhow, talk to you guys in the next video.